we have next is actually a powerful transition for Cinderella, because she also has a media company. She works this one, C Nicole, and her first name is C, letter C. That's it. That's all you get. And then her middle name is Nicole. So together she's the C Nicole, which is perfect because we get to see Nicole. And she actually helps authors who are just stuck not being able to write the books that they were called to write, from grace to completion. I love that title. See, Nicole, welcome, welcome, welcome. I love what you do. I'm like, you're the mother of many books and many more books that are going to come because of that grace to completion. That's one of what you do, but she's also a nonprofit guru. I mean, like between your media company, your publishing company, and what you do as a nonprofit, I'm like, you're serving in every aspect. It's all service, and you just give. See, Nicole, tell us more about you. We'd love to have our audience get to know you more.
Well, I want to say thank you, Ava, for this opportunity to be here with you. And I have just been bubbling ever since we and I had our conversation. I want to also thank Shamiko, which is just a wonderful, dear sister friend, colleague, business partner, just all of the above. And Michelle, I don't know you yet, but I can already tell we kindred because, honey, you got that tagline in the back that says, I am not supposed to be subtle. So, I was born loud, and people say, "Oh my God, you can be loud." I'm like, "Yes, girl, because God gave me this voice, and we got to use it." And so that's kind of how this book came about, to be the audacity to shine, because you can't be subtle when you're trying to have the audacity. And so, too many of us have let our light out, and we've dimmed our light. And we've been in the shadows, and it's time for us to come out. And I just want to thank you so much for this platform, Ava, because we all need to recharge our Superwoman.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. That alone, the permission.
Yes.
We have someone coming up later in about an hour. Her name is Miriam Brewer, and she's her tagline is, "I am your permission slip to
Ooh,
shine."
yes.
I mean, our permission slip to shine. So the audacity to shine. I love, love, love that title. I'm like, that's an Amazon bestseller. That's like a Barnes and Noble bestseller. The audacity to shine. And one of the things that I found. So we're talking about recharging your Superwoman and really coming out of overwhelm and stepping into your superpowers, living the life that you love. I mean, that right there is the audacity to shine, to allow yourself to live the life that you love, live the relationships that you love. Because I feel like a lot of things, the things that hold us back is really us, really being uncomfortable with shining. What's your experience working with authors? Shining authors or rising authors?
It's been a beautiful thing because so many of our authors, like even with this collaboration, it's 10 of us. So you have 5 authors that are new, and then you have 5 that are seasoned. We've written before, we've been part of collaborations. And so I teamed up the new with the old, those who not old, but those that are seasoned and those that are like just writing for the first time. And they had collaborations. And so they would partner with each other. They would glean from each other. There would be a support for each other. And it was really, really spiritual how I connected them. It wasn't just like, oh, I think I just put this person with that person. I really prayed about it and said, how can I put these 2 people together so they can get the best out of their book and the best out of their project. It was very healing for everyone. Some people had to tap into some areas that had been dark in their life or some painful places that they haven't even thought about. Even our seasoned writers, even myself, I'm telling you, this book was probably one of the greatest revelations for myself because even though I think I'm bold and behind me, you see this BTP, that's part of the grace of completion. It's called born to prosper, that we are born to prosper. So being a part of that, I still was hiding, Ava. I was still hiding. In my chapter, one of my sentences say, I felt like I was a leading role in my own movie, and I would only come out to perform and then go back into the dressing room of my life.
Mm.
And so many of us, we're out there, but we're like, I'm just out here. I don't know. So many people have the imposter syndrome. They feel like they're not enough and they have to do something else. So they need more education, or they need more knowledge. They need more tools. Well, how am I supposed to write a book? That's why they have editors, honey. Just write. You know what I'm saying? Just write. That's why they have editors. That's why they have proofers. That's why we have people who actually format the book, and you don't have to do any of those things. Just write. And then there's software out there like Spreechy and other things that if you could just talk, and it'll translate for you. And then we can put it into, so for those young writers, I want people, when I say young, I don't mean as an age, I meant as in the beginning, or even those who may have written before, but they hadn't really touched on those personal things. They haven't, they've touched on, they might be a mystery writer, or they might be a romance writer, but they haven't stepped into themselves to be transparent. And I think that's where the real work starts. And the real healing starts when we allow ourselves to be transparent and we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, because I had to be vulnerable in this project. I had to go back in and rewrite my chapter and be really raw and real.
What's really coming very clear for me right now, as you're saying all of this, is a lot of times as new writers, like young writers, we think of the whole how, and we're stuck with that. Like you said, just write, just dictate it, because there are editors and there are proofreaders, and you don't have to be it all. You don't have to know it all, and there's so much grace to that.
Yes,
I think that if we can take ourselves out of the exhaustion of just running around the things that we don't know and the things that we can't and the things that we aren't, and just do.
Yes,
there's grace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You and I love that word, grace. I didn't want to cut you off.
Yeah. No, actually, I'm just sitting in awe here of everything that you just said, because, as we're talking about stepping out of overwhelm, and coming out, just saying no to the imposter syndrome. You spoke about it, where people feel like they still need the certifications, they need those letters after their name to be able to be credible. I mean, how do you empower someone who just doesn't feel good enough or great enough to be able to write their story?
Well, first of all, we have to tell them that their story has value. Every last one of us have value. We have value within ourselves. So if your story has value, then, and another thing you can never refute is a person's testimony. You can't say that their testimony is right or wrong, because it belongs to them. And so the word says they will be won by the blood of your testimony. So that means that your testimony is for somebody else to overcome and to get past what they're going through. And we also know there's nothing new under the sun. So when you help that person understand that, hey, what you went through was not in vain, and that you were not alone, and your story has value, you are enough, and everything that you possibly need, you're already equipped with. You have everything you need right now. And what you don't have, it will be given to you. It will be brought to you. Help will come. They say the teacher is ready. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. It didn't say when the teacher is ready, it's when the student is ready. So when you are ready, that help will come.
That's so powerful. So just the trust. Trust to take the first step.
Yes.
You don't have to have everything lined up together. Just this trust to start to take the step. Michelle, what do you have in mind?
Well, see, Nicole, first of all, thank you so much. I love your BTP meeting, the Born to Prosper. Beautiful, beautiful. you mentioned about allow yourself to be transparent.
Mm.
And that seems to be, it seems that the memoir genre seems to speak to that. However, I feel when people also write fiction or any kind of writing, there's that transparency of thought that's important. I've seen some posts on social media like Facebook, and some people share some such transparent views about their lives or observations. And oftentimes I see comments saying, I can't wait to read your book. I can't. And this person hasn't even thought of books and such. So how do you speak to those people? Because a lot of times they'll try to sit down and write, and then they try to edit themselves. What do you say to those people who finally say, wow, I think I'm willing to put myself forward into the light and to share my creativity or to share my life? What do you say to them about not going back and criticizing themselves and just continue to work?
Well, we have a 4-step process when it comes to the writing process. And the first step is just to write. I mean, literally, it's just write. There's no editing. There's no editing whatsoever. I tell people curse if you want to curse. If you want to say names, say names. Whatever you want to do in that first draft, do it. Say it. Don't hold back. You can say ain't. You can be ebonic. You can write in your language if you are from a different culture. I mean, whatever is comfortable for you, just do it in that first edit. Because the first thing you got to do is just get it out. And once you start that activity, it's going to open up more activity. And it's going to open up more activity. And, some people feel like, well, I need an outline. But that doesn't work for everybody. When I wrote my first book, Girlfriend, Pray About It, I tried to think about creating an outline, and I had to first just create the chapters. And then once I created the chapters created the outline. And so, right, the chapters created outline. So I think people got to get past what's holding them back and what's hindering them. Now, once you get done with that first draft, then you go back in and you just read. So you're not editing, you're just reading. And then you're going in and you're going to get more descriptive. So maybe you might have said something like, we sat at the table. And then you might say, we sat in the cold room and the table, was hard and dense, or it had a yellow tablecloth. Invite the reader in. Bring them into that moment of where you are. Become more descriptive in what you're saying. Allow them to be in that moment with you. That's your second draft. And you don't get into the editing part until you like in your third and fourth draft. And then that's when you bring in the professional. Actually, you can even bring in readers, because we did both. I had readers at the beginning and I had readers after my editors, because I wanted to make sure that after it was proofed and everybody could get past all the errors, that they were able to go in and give me, like, people who really knew me and said, okay, Nicole, you need to add this, or you need to say that, or you need to expound on this. So that way it helped me see my blind spots.
Wow, that's beautiful. Some of my favorite books, no matter cross genres, you'll read is it the prologue or the dedication? Or they'll mention friends who have read their books and that have met the journey. And some even say, thank you for reading the really horrible raw draft and then carrying with me. And I'd like to, these 4 points are beautiful. And I'm sure there's a way that we can reach out to you to find out what they are. But you said first draft, don't think about it, just write. Second, read it. And then invite the reader. Is that the third aspect? Invite the reader. Yeah,
and the third aspect, you invite readers, to read.
Is that where the vulnerability comes out?
Oh, yeah, because now somebody's reading what you wrote. Yeah. Now, in our cases, their accountability partner was their readers.
Oh, the readers in between the 1 through 4 steps. And then you bring in the prose.
Yes. And then you bring in the prose. Yeah.
That is a process, because a lot of people don't begin writing, in my opinion, because they feel that they need to find the prose. And you're saying, no, you can do so much.
Yes.
And look how, and that seems to be the journey of where it almost seems overnight, but nothing really great built is overnight. And you
No.
just showed us the blueprint of how we can get what's here and on paper, and it's okay. So for those who have something already, there's people who have tried writing and self-published and such, and perhaps it wasn't as successful as they thought they would. What message do you have to say to them about continuing writing and continue this process?
Well, the first thing I would say, Michelle, to that is for them to go back to that original work and do an edited version.
Wow. So now you have like version 2? You
version 2. Yeah. You have volume 2. You got what's called editions. So you have edition 2, edition 3, edition 4. I'm going to tell you who's the queen of that. What is her name? It just came to mind. Joyce Meyer.
What?
She will take something and will change the title, put a new title on it, package it up a little different, add to it, and it's another edition, or it's a new book. So, and many times what she does is use ghostwriters. If you're not comfortable in your writing, we have ghostwriters, people who can help you write. So you can literally talk it out. Put your message on like Spreechy or a translator or something like that, and then have somebody to fill in and be able to capture your voice. So because Joyce Meyer used ghostwriters a lot for her messages, and sometimes you just need a transcriber, somebody who could just take your audible and just transcribe that message and then have it formatted. But for someone who already have a piece of work, go back to that work, add to it, make it another edition, or change the title or something like that. I'm gonna tell you another thing you could do. You can go to Amazon and look for catchy titles. And so, not that you're using their words, but it just will spark like a new thought and to see what people are gravitating to and what keywords. And then another thing that our publishing company does is we help turn your book into an audible book. So now make that book audible. So now people can listen to it. So there's so many ways you can repurpose what you've already written. And then you can also collaborate with others.
Wow, that's beautiful. I've heard people talk about the ghostwriter aspect and such, and some people are under the impression that they have to come up with this big chunk of money to have this ghostwriter. Is there some type of profit share that people do with some ghostwriters? Or
oh yeah, there's profit share in many ways. You can, especially with the Audible world, you can literally have the person who's going to be doing the Audible for you. They can do a profit share with you. So as you sell the book, they get a percentage. And so you may not have to pay them up front. Now, of course, you're going to have to share the profit share if you do it that way versus just paying them out directly. But ghostwriters can work somewhat similar, but you can use people that are from other countries. You can use other formats like Fiverr. Fiverr is great. Freelancers, though, they're great for ghostwriting. You don't have to go to the best New York Best Time, or these persons with these big names that's going to charge you $10, $20, $30, $50,000 to ghostwrite your book. You don't have to do that. I mean, you literally can get a book ghostwritten, probably starting about $1,500, $2,000.
Oh my goodness!
Well, sorry, Michelle. Go ahead.
Oh, that's fine.
I had a little delay in my internet, but by the time I started talking, I saw you talking already. You go first.
That's so well. I was just going to say that see, Nicole, I'm just telling you, you are truly one of the biggest reasons why print and reading is still going to happen. There's so many futurists who say, oh, nobody's going to read. And what you're just showing us is how to apply technology and resources that are already there to get that beautiful message that's coming through us that we really want to connect with. And I just wanted to thank you for your life's work. I'm assuming this is your higher purpose, because this is a lot of moving pieces going on, and you do it with such ease. And we were just talking about earlier in this summit from many of the other experts like yourself, that when you're actually working towards your higher purpose, things just flow like the way you say it. You make it seem so easy. So thank you. Ava, Please.
Oh, so I was thinking, I guess something in Alexa or Siri knew that I wanted to write a book. So all this time I'm getting offers and ads on ghostwriters, and I just don't know. I don't know whether I could trust them. So it's kind of like, I think, a barrier for people who have ideas, but they're like offers for write your book for $795 or things like that, or $500 special deal for 4th of July, but you don't know the integrity of who's offering. But now we know Cynical. Do you do anything online as a group? What how can we reach to you, and how do you provide your services in this area?
Well, the our website for the book right now is called Audacity to Shine, and they can go and get a copy of their book. And then my personal website is cnhenderson.com. And so cnhenderson.com is where they will find our consulting firm for nonprofits, and they can also reach out to me there, because I'm an equipter, Ava. And so being an equipter, this whole grace to completion came about because there are people who want to complete things in their world, in their life, and they have a greater purpose. They have a higher calling. And so to equip them, whether they want to write a book, whether they want to start a business, whether they want to start a nonprofit organization, we're here to help equip those purposes. And because I've been in the nonprofit industry for over 26 years, and I've been in the literary world for over 16 years. And so it's just a part of that kind of coming together. It's not that we're doing so many things different. It's just that I felt like it was time to make it into an actual business and be able to reach those people with what their needs are. And so they can definitely go to the Audacity to Shine or cnhenderson.com.
That's so good. Thank you. And I know that you also do work for helping people build their nonprofits.
Yes.
So that's another grace to completion, because all of us have this something that we want to do, and this charity project we want to do, but everything's just a thought. So you become the grace to completion. And we've got Miko back on stage. Miko.
Yay! I wanted to just come in. I love just coming in and seeing some of these so familiar faces and people that I just love and adore, and have helped not just me, but so many people around us with achieving goals, more importantly, to getting to those specific areas, especially in the nonprofit world. I've worked quite closely with Nicole in that world, and we've just helped so many people across the country. And I love sending amazing, powerful people, and she just kind of molds them and helps them to get out into the community as best as they can with the information that they need. And I just wanted to come in and honor not just, again, my amazing partners, Michelle and Ava, with what they're doing, but also to someone that's just come from many years of us working together, Nicole. And I love seeing this, because recharging your superwoman is exactly this, is how we can bring these resources and connections and so many powerful women and men, because we have so many things that are coming up, but this is really focused on our community of women, where we get a chance to pour into each other and allow us to shine just at a higher level. And you've paved the way for so many people, Nicole, and just helped so many individuals that I know, just not even in the Georgia area, but across the country. And I just get excited when I see, this type of camaraderie. We all vibrate at the same level. Our energies are there, but more importantly, we're here to help not just ourselves to grow and each other to grow, encourage each other, but more importantly, our community, our youth. And that's where I get excited. That's what I get so passionate about. And I just wanted to jump in again and say hello real fast and kind of go back to what I'm doing here. But more importantly, this recharging your superwoman. If you all are not connected to these powerful speakers today, please go back and watch the replays. Make sure you get those nuggets, reach out to them for the gifts that they're offering out to you, but more importantly, support each other. So that's where I wanted to go with this today. So thank you all for allowing me to jump back in and see Nicole again, my heart, and I will definitely go and fade back onto the back.
Thank you so much, Miko.
Thank you so much, Miko. Mika's so precious.
She is.
Yeah, she's making everything work in the background, and she's what did you call her gift was, Michelle?
She's an Excelist,
Next-
less than 1% of the population. And guess what, folks? You found one. They're like unicorns. Everybody believes in them. They want to believe in them. And well, there you go.
So good. Nicole, thank you so much for being in our presence today. Go ahead and, when you get a chance later, drop it on the chat and put your link so that, we can reach out to you. I love that you are, what's the word for it? You said it. Yeah, the grace to completion, to complete anything. What is it?
Yes. Yeah, grace to completion. Yes.
But you had a word for yourself. You are not a strategist, not a
Equipper.
Equipter. Yes, I have
Equipter.
Yeah, there
Equipter.
you go. So whatever it is that you feel you don't have, or you feel like you're stuck with, and you feel you don't have the capacity, come to see Nicole and she will equip you.
Yeah, what we have what's called a clear track 501c3 system. So we literally walk somebody through that process to getting their nonprofit start to finish. We also do business formations, and we have clients all over the country in about 46 states. And so I will drop in the chat my coffee connection. Like they could literally just, have coffee with me, virtual coffee, virtual tea, and we can talk whether they want to do a nonprofit, they want to write a book, or they just want to recharge their work on their personal mission or vision. We do that. And so it's just a blessing to be here. And I want to say this, Ava. So many times we talk about we are not superwomen, like the woman, that superwoman syndrome. But what you're saying to that woman is that she needs to recharge that, because what happens is we go dim and our light goes out, and and we're like, our batteries have run out. And so you're saying that this is a place where you can come and get recharged, because it could be one moment, one bad client, one situation that can deter us from God's plan for our lives. And so you're saying, hey, no, you're not in this by yourself. We're here for you, and we can help. We can all come together one for another, lock arms, heart to heart, mind to mind, and we could be here for each other. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
You're welcome. I love how you said that. Oh my gosh, I love how you said that. Thank you so much, Nicole. Have an amazing rest of your Sunday. You're such a blessing. Our hearts are so full. Thank you so much.
Thank you.